Good day everybody and welcome back to another video. It is Tuesday today. I hope everyone had a fantastic Father's Day over the weekend. Who's the daddy? I am. I got spoilt rotten and a lovely breakfast and yeah, just a really nice day overall. And I wanted to make this video. It's got a couple of different parts to it. Let's start off with a week in the life. Right, so let's do a rundown of the week. Monday, we had 2 vans out, and that was me and a CX driver. He was in a small van, and he did a job over to Durham. Tuesday, we had 3 vans out doing 4 jobs. I did 2 of them. That was me, Dave, at Anvil Logistics, and a CX driver. Wednesday, we had 6 vans out doing 7 jobs, and that was me, Dave, Elvis, who's a new top driver that I've been using recently, and 2 CX trucks, 7.5 tonners. That day didn't go according to plan because the truck jobs got cancelled after they'd been on site for quite a while, so they got paid full price. Thursday, we had 4 vans out doing 3 jobs, and that was me, Dave again, Anvil, 2 CX drivers. And Friday, we had 6 vans out doing 6 jobs, and that was me, Jono at TMSV Services, or as he's known on YouTube now, Just Another Courier, Andy P, also on YouTube, Elvis, once again, did another job for me, absolutely top bloke, and 2 more CX drivers. And for the total for that, we subbed out 18 jobs, and they did 3,355 miles, and that cost Freddie Fletcher Limited, to pay all them drivers, £3,240 plus VAT for 1 week. So that is a nice wedge of money going out the bank shortly. And I just want to make it clear, being able to use my mates, the YouTube lads, is fantastic, but there is reasons behind using them. I use them because they're reliable, they go above and beyond, and they always do a good job. And that's why I like building relationships with other drivers. Elvis, for instance. Elvis is the driver which I ended up getting after I subbed a job to a company and they re-subbed it out. And Elvis turned out to be a really nice guy, and he was brand new at the CX. He was an ex-truck driver. And he's just top, and he does a really good job, and he goes above and beyond, and doesn't moan, doesn't mither. Not every little thing is is a problem. He'll just do it, and so will all the other lads. That's why I like using the likes of Dave, Jono, Andy, Neil, and all the other lads, because they'll do the job properly, and I know they will. Whereas at the minute, if I post a job on the Courier Exchange, I'm basically gambling and just hoping that you're going to get someone good, hoping that it's going to be a winner. And the odds aren't stacked in my favour, it would seem, because I get a lot of crappy drivers. That's why I do try and use as many of the lads in the WhatsApp group and as many of the YouTube lads that I know to do the jobs, because they always do the best jobs. Now, I'd like to talk about the Courier Exchange for a minute, the CX. Because I tend to keep an eye on the website just for anything new, and I was meant to go to the conference last Wednesday, but my schedule didn't align properly and I couldn't go. But something has changed on their website, and it's actually their pricing structure. So back when I joined 3 and a bit years ago, they had the owner driver, and then you had your courier companies, and there was like 2 tiers, and then you had your freight forwarder. Now it's a bit more in depth, and there's 4 options for courier companies, 2 for freight forwarders. But let's start with the first one. So owner drivers, that's if you're a self-employed, sole trader, you're not a limited company, you're just one man in a van. And that is going to cost you £159.99 a month plus VAT. But actually at the minute it's not, because there's a 20% discount. So it's going to cost you £127.99 a month. And that gives you the driver's app, and it lets you bid on work. That's just for your self-employed driver that wants to get some money. So next we've got courier companies, and this is limited companies on the exchange, of from tiny to massive. this is going to cover you. So there's 4 options, and it all depends on how many users you want and how many drivers you want. We've got CX Small Fleet, gives you 3 users, which is desktop users, so people that can sub your jobs out and take jobs from the desktop and hand them over to drivers. You're allowed 1 to 5 vans on that, and that is the cheapest package at $249.99 a month, currently on offer at $199.99 a month. And that comes with 1 driver's app for 5 vans. So that leads me on to the next point. If you do see people with screenshots or WhatsApp messages with the CX jobs on them, it could be very likely that they're actually working for a company that just has 1 app. So the rest of the drivers just get the things sent to them. That's why they're not tracked. Unless the company wants to pay $9.99 a month per driver for another app. They don't have to. They can just send the driver the job details in a different way. If you see that, don't always just assume it's a syndicate, because it might just be a company employee working for a small company. And that leads us on to CX Medium Fleet. So this is obviously the next tier up. This allows 4 desktop users, gives you 2 drivers apps, 2 fleet apps, and this is 6 to 15 drivers or vans. So basically you can have 4 of them running around with apps if you give them the fleet apps and the drivers apps, and the other 11 won't have any apps. They'll just be getting the messages with the jobs on them. And that is $299.99 on offer at the minute, $239.99. But obviously that doesn't include VAT, and there's a processing fee. I think it's about 150 odd quid on top of that, so don't forget them extra costs. Next is CX Large Fleet. So obviously we're going up another notch. This is 16 to 50 vans with 8 desktop users. So this will be for your large courier company, your Cal Same Day, your Quickline, people like that who have got a few of their own vans. This one is $449.99. Currently on offer for $359.99 plus VAT. That gives you 3 drivers apps, 2 fleet apps, 8 users, 16 to 50 vans. So realistically, if there is 49 of you out there that would like to join Freddie Fletcher Limited, we could upgrade to this package and I'll save a little bit of money. Anyone interested? Let me know in the comments. Or if you want to go even bigger, CX Enterprise. So the CX Enterprise is 50 plus vehicles, 20 desktop users, 10 drivers apps, 5 fleet apps for £900 a month plus VAT, plus some fees on top. So that is £12,960 a year. Jesus. Now, that is a whopping amount of money for a subscription. And I'm assuming the 50 plus means anything over 50. You could have 200 vehicles potentially. Then I suppose you'd make that sort of money to pay for that sort of subscription. But my God, that is a whopping amount of money. We've got 2 options for freight forwarders. We've got the freight forwarders intro and the freight forwarder max. Let's start with the intro. So the intro is $131.99 a month. So that's the cheapest package you can get, which sounds fantastic if you want to be a freight forwarder, until you see the part that's after that amount, which says £2 per booking on top of the subscription you already pay. So you're subbing jobs out on their platform, they're charging you for that privilege to do so, and then they're charging you again per individual booking. Imagine if you were a big shipper and you're putting out 10 to 100 jobs a day. It's a lot of money over the year, innit? And it leads me back to that courier company a while back that someone told me was paying 40 grand to be on the platform. Maybe they just got the forwarder intro pack. They should move on to the forwarder max, because that would be cheaper for them, because that's $287.99 a month, and there is no mention of additional fees per booking thankfully. And that comes with 3 desktop users. So that'd be good for the likes of Clive at Roadrunners. I don't believe they have any fans of their own, but there is 3 fantastic lads there that run it. And yeah, so that is the pricing update for all that. Now, let's move on to Smart Pay. So, Smart Pay. So, if you've not heard of what Smart Pay is, it's the courier exchanges, the transport exchanges, new system to get drivers paid and make shippers' lives easier. Apparently, I'm a bit torn between it because I have some questions and some concerns, but then I also do think it's a good idea. So basically what would happen is when you do a job on the exchange for a shipper, if you're both part of the Smart Pay system, you've got to sign up through Trusted. The driver just does his CX, does his invoice through the CX, it gets sent to the shipper, they approve it, and then the shipper has to add a large sum of money to their Smart Pay wallet, which is basically giving the money to the CX, and then the Smart Pay wallet distributes that money between all the drivers that are owed on the date of payment. So instead of a shipper individually paying each driver and maybe forgetting one or overpaying one or doing something like that, it just sends the lump amount that is told to send to the Smart Pay, and that Smart Pay splits the payment between all the drivers. Now, issues I can see are, it's not compulsory at the minute anyway. If you've still got drivers that aren't on it, and you're a shipper that wants to pay one through it, you're still going to have to pay drivers separately anyway. And if you're a driver that's not on it, nothing changes for you. But also, if the shipper doesn't put the money into the Smart Pay wallet, you're still not going to get paid on time. So it doesn't eradicate that issue. My next concern is, what if a fly-by-night company joins the CX, as they have done, subs out everything 45 days, end of month, makes a load of money off the drivers doing the jobs for them, and then never pays anyone through the Smart Pay or not? It's not going to make a difference. You're still not going to get paid, because the Smart Pay, I think, is more aimed towards giving the shippers easier lives so they don't have to pay individual drivers. The system just pays all the drivers once you put your money in their wallet. So it doesn't really benefit people in terms of they will actually get paid. If the shipper's not going to pay into Smart Pay, you're still not going to get paid. Also, I have another concern. What's the security like? Is it safe? What sort of system have they got set up to keep everyone's money safe? I don't know. I'm sure it's something that I probably have to look into a little bit more, or they'll come out and tell us all how it's so safe. But it's a concern of mine, shall we say. How do you feel about it? What are your concerns? Leave it in the comments below. And right, I know it is very, very, very unlikely, but what if the CX goes under? What if everybody joins Smart Pay? Everyone funnels all the money into it, everyone's pre-prepared to pay all the drivers on time. What if it goes under? Where does the money go? Is it a completely separate company? Is it part of the Transport Exchange Group? What is it? That's another concern. What are your concerns? Like I just said, leave them in the comments below and we can discuss them there. Right, and last but not least, what I've been told, and it was mentioned at the conference, but which I'm being told about, was Smart Pay is going to lead on to the CX factoring. And the factoring is all going to depend on the invoice terms. So obviously, the shorter the invoice terms, 14 days from invoice, 30 days from invoice, etc., the better rate you get on the factoring. And when it gets to 45 days end of month, the worse rate you get. So the rates are going to be set between 5 and 10% of your invoice is what you're going to be charged. I believe it's 5 to 7 days to get paid initially if you are going to factor with them, and then obviously then they've got to wait to get paid off the shipper. But that leads me on to another concern. Who's doing the factoring? Is it the Transport Exchange Group themselves, or have they got an external factoring company involved? Let's say every single person joins SmartPay. Let's say every single person wants their money early, like everyone does, and every single person uses the factoring system. Have the Transport Exchange Group got enough money? It's an honest question. They claimed that the drivers on the exchange in May made off £40 million. Are they going to be able to pump £40 million out in 5 days from the invoice, and every 5 days from an invoice, and then wait 30 days end of month, 45 days a month end of month to get that money back? Because they will be spending hundreds of millions paying drivers before they get anything back. And I know they're a big company, but they're not a bank. They're not a massive factoring company that is run by a bank. So where are they getting the money from? Or are they using an external factoring company? Because if they are, there's loads of people on the CX that refuse to work with factoring companies. And I completely understand why. Because they are a nightmare. I want to swear so bad right now, but I don't like swearing in these videos. I got 6 letters the other day posted to the house from Lloyd's Commercial Finance. And these are the biggest pests ever. And you'll read their letter and it doesn't have a date on it. Doesn't have the date the job was done. Doesn't have the payment date. Doesn't have anything. It just makes out in every single letter, in every single email, that you owe them money now. And when I first started getting them, when I first joined the exchange, and I started getting factoring companies emailing me and messaging me and sending me letters, it was like they were demanding money urgently, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot to pay someone. And in reality, I've not forgot to pay anyone. They're just trying to get paid early. And then, I think most people set up with a factoring company and go, oh yeah, I get paid 30 days from invoice. Which is bullcrap, because you get paid different times from different people. So after 30 days from invoice off every single factoring company, I get an email saying I'm overdue and I'm going to start getting charges, and after a week they're going to take me to court. It's another 3 weeks before you're getting paid. So normally I phone them and like, oh yeah, don't worry about that. We've just put the payment details on there wrong. We're not going to charge you anything and take you to court. And then 2 days later I'll get another bloody letter. Oh, final demand, we demand our money now. On the phone again. What? You told me this, you told me that. Oh, we don't remember that. Well, you said your phone calls are recorded, so you better go back and listen to them. Absolute bloody nightmare. I'm just rambling on now about factoring companies because I dislike them so much. They are a pain. My God, I'm annoyed now. Thank you for watching. Please go and like and subscribe. Thank you to every single new subscriber. And thank you to every single old subscriber, everybody that watches these videos. I really appreciate every single last one of you. Bye-bye.